All right, so we've got Tyler here, an anxiety coach. What the heck are we celebrating?
Man, 54K month last month. Stoked about it. Just insane.
Love it, love it. And where did we start? So like it's been 4 months back
Yeah.
working together. Where were you at 4 months ago though?
4 months ago, roughly $8,000. So
Okay.
back to Terrified when I first worked with you a long time ago. Back to Terrified.
Okay.
Yeah, I sold two clients that month, so not good
Okay. So you went from 8K a month to you just cracked your first 54K month, which is your highest month yet, I think, right?
ever. Yeah.
Love it. You can feel the excitement. I can feel the excitement. Okay, that's a good 7X. That's a good 7X
Yeah,
in
unreal.
yeah.
Didn't even like we talked about this for a couple seconds to lay out the map before we even talked about this, and like saying that again, I'm just like it keeps hitting me. I'm like, how is that fucking real?
All right.
Oh my god.
All right, before we play the rest of this video, if you want help with this stuff, right? Like growing your business, scaling your business, it might be leads, it might be, closing more sales, maybe it's hiring a team, whatever it is. If you want help with this, click the link below this video, book in a time to chat with me, and let me see if I can help you grow. All right, let's get back to the video.
Yeah, crazy. 7x.
Because you were saying you were back at like a like shitting your pants moment where you were kind of like, okay, shit, I only sold two clients this month. It was like one the month before or something. So like, what was going through your head at that point? Because you jumped back in.
Yeah. So like I had certainty with you going back. I had certainty that you could help me get there, but I remember just thinking, like, I can't let this keep sliding. And I know I have all the skills in me to do this because we've worked together before, but like I'm missing the mark somewhere. And at that point, I couldn't figure out how many little things I'd changed along the way. So
Right.
I'm like, I need to just go back. And so my original thought was, I have so many leads coming in that maybe I should just get like an application form. So I messaged you about that. You're like, dude, just get back in. We'll turn this around. And I
Yeah.
was like, all right, let's get it. Let's just do
Okay, so
that.
we just started working together again. Did you have any fears or hesitations on that, or like, yeah, talk to me about that.
Transparently, this time I didn't. This time I had nothing but certainty, only because I don't remember if we've done these other testimony videos before. I'm sure we've done a couple now.
Yeah.
But like for anyone who might be watching, my story was like I joined, did great. I left, then I joined again, did even greater, left again, came back, and now I'm hitting the moon.
Yeah.
So I had certainty that you could help me because it was a pattern laid out before. It was more of a it's not even a question. Get your ass back in there because like you're missing the mark somewhere. And every time I've talked to you, this has been a testimonial. Just even to coach friends that I meet online, I'm like, every time I talk to Morgan, 10K falls into my bank account
Yeah.
after like a day or two, without exaggeration. Every single time that's happened, so I'm like, no, I need to go back for sure.
So
It was
you
more pain to not doing it.
For sure, for sure. So you're like, okay, this is sliding. I can't let this keep sliding just with business stuff. And then you're like, okay, I'm gonna jump back in. You just didn't have a lot of fear before you did. Like the first time we ever worked together, you told that story about how you were like, I wasn't sure if how I was gonna eat next month if I jumped in.
Yeah,
There was fear
that's
there
right.
because we'd never worked together, but you already had past experiences, so you're like, it's all Gouda.
Yeah, for sure. The first time, yeah, to round back to that real quick, the first time I ever did it was like I was bringing clients in and selling them with no skills of anything, no skills of marketing, no skills of selling, just kind of a YouTube university, everything. And so I was definitely afraid because I'm like, well, what I have is working at like 3K a month, give or take. I was like, it's working, but I was like, I'm hanging on by a thread, paying no taxes, by the way, which pay your fucking taxes, it'll bite you in the ass right now. But we'll get back to how that's going right now. But it was so bad because I couldn't afford anything. So I was like, if I do this, I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to eat next month. Very literally, by the way.
Yeah,
But then I was like, I don't have a choice. Like, I can't keep doing it this way. There's just no way to do this. And at the time, my now wife, but then girlfriend, she lived in Florida, which I now live in. There's a whole fucking story behind this. But nonetheless, it was like I had too much on the line to lose if I don't do this.
for
And I
sure.
trusted you at that point because we'd been in contact. So I'm like, let's just rip the band-aid.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. So yeah, that's the first experience when there was fear, and then you jumped in.
Yeah.
And then we've worked together since then. So you're kind of like, okay, like
Yeah.
I know I'm not gonna get like scammed or something. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
At this point, I was like, I've worked with business coaches in the past. And I didn't feel like it was scam. I felt like something was missing for me. I'm like, this is just not what I felt like I needed. But then my nervous system has associated like Morgan equals money in my nervous system. So I'm like, no, time to jump back in.
Love it, love it. Okay. Well, let's spill the gold for people. How the frick did you 7X? I mean, we took a couple notes before this so we could like properly map out like what you did specifically. But yeah,
Yeah. So, in no particular order, because I already can't remember, but you can prompt it if you want. One of the first things I did was I got clear on who I was talking to again. I was all over the friggin' map with anxiety. I was just like, if you're a human and you have anxiety, I'm for you. But then I noticed where 90% of like my best clients were coming from, who I could help as quick as I wanted to at the price that like I wanted to have clients come in at. So I zeroed into that, which was the first thing. Second thing was there were so many
can
people
I
coming
pause on
in.
that for a second?
Yeah,
So you basically looked at all the clients that you had, you found the top 10%. You basically did what Hormozy would call a common factor analysis. And then you're like, I'm just going to zoom into these people and dial all my messaging around these people and forget about the other 90 and just go hyper specific.
yeah, 100%,
Okay.
100%. And then I also figured if I also do that, I was thinking like long term, and I was like, well, when I hire coaches to help me out,
Yes.
which is another piece that I'm actually at, which I didn't mention to you. So we'll get to that in a second. But I
Alrighty.
was like, once I do that, I'm not going to need to train them on everything I learned from Tony Robbins, Richard Band. Like, that's like, I learned this over 10 years. So I
100%.
was like, if I niche down into this, I can teach them like the three simple things I'm doing for this. It'll be way easier to scale. So
Yeah.
that reinforced that decision of let's just zero into the best people.
100%.
Um,
So you
and
got
I was,
you got hyper niche, which helped the marketing, and then you got
yeah,
more hyper niche, which is going to help you scale fulfillment when you train other coaches. And then the
right.
other thing is getting hyper niche. Frig, what was I going to say on this? Oh, you found the people that were actually, it was the lowest cost for you to fulfill because you could get the transformation faster, which means your capacity for client success actually just went up. So like
Way
you just
higher.
found the best avatar to dial in on and just went ham.
100%. And I want to add something on this too, because I know for a lot of people, there's fear around being more like dived in and specific.
Sure.
The messages that I was getting, and I still get every sales call, every DM, every ad, like I see it across the board now, is air quote, oh my God, you're speaking specifically to me. I've never seen this before in my life. This is
Yeah.
what I need. Before I'd even talk to them, and I'm like, all right, this is cool.
Yeah.
So it's like, I didn't realize how many people would come out of the woodwork globally with this one problem. Because I thought I needed to talk to everybody because I didn't think anxiety was a big enough niche. I was like, or no, yeah, I thought zeroing in wouldn't be big enough, but I realized like it's everything in my niche. So
Every time we get more specific too, like we've done this like multiple iterations, and every time it like
you know.
it helps every time. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
What's the next thing? So that's number one. Number two.
So the next thing was I was having such an influx of people come in that my setter couldn't keep up, so I had a setter do the evening as well.
Okay.
Um, that was extremely helpful because was also helpful is that this is slightly irrelevant, but for me it mattered. He
Yeah.
was also in Australia.
Mm,
So when I'm sleeping, he's up all night.
mm.
And so he could cover all of that. So by the time that my daytime setter was in there, they were just like right where he left off. So it was like continuous call, book, 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 book. It
Yes.
just so good.
Okay. So you pulled two setters in, so you've got just like your speed to lead is way better because you've got almost full inbox coverage versus just having like
Exactly.
only 6 hours or only 8 or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. They're doing about 16 hours a day between the two of them, give or take.
Love it.
So basically all hours of the day are covered. And that was the thing too. The nature of my ideal client is like they're always anxious about the next day because driving anxiety is what I'm helping people deal with agoraphobia, like the fear of freaking out when you leave the house. So every night they were literally staying awake at night, thinking about that. And so it was perfect for him to be in there talking to them right at the moment.
I
And
love that.
so yeah, it was just a gold mine for me.
Cool. Okay. So two setters. Can I pause this for a second actually? Because I need to get a charger. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, we got the charger. We're back. So two setters. And then what? What other stuff did you do?
So that was the second thing. The third thing I did was I added automations, like once they booked the call,
Yeah.
to get more people to the sales call
To
so
show
I
up.
could actually have the conversation. Yeah, exactly. Because my call rate would be like, let's say in a week I might have like 16 sales calls booked, and then I'd have like 7 show up, which luckily for me, of those 7, maybe about 3 to 4 would sign up. So it wasn't bad most weeks, but it was like I'm losing so much potential.
For sure.
So yeah, I got them more to the calls, and that was extremely helpful too.
Okay, so you had like reminders, like email reminders, text reminders, where they were seeing like proof and testimonials and case studies like pre-call so that
Yeah,
your show rate bumped up?
yeah.
Okay, love it.
And what I'm probably going to do even more than that too, because I'm realizing the power of the communication that they get before the call, is I'm
Yes.
probably going to add even more about me, particularly because one of the objections, and this is what I'm learning,
Yeah.
is when you keep hearing similar objections come up, seed the certainty about that way in advance. So I don't have any of those questions come up.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like a bit of a fucking ninja right now, but I'm going to put some more in like who Tyler is, what he does, how he helps in with the testimonials too. So that's the next thing. But nonetheless, yeah, getting people to the calls was the
Okay.
next thing.
Okay, love it. What about we actually made one big shift after looking at some data. What about the triage call thing?
Oh, I might not be remembering this in the way that you want me to, but
Did you
basically we
remember?
just got rid of that. We just got rid of that altogether, which I was originally nervous about, but we got rid of that, the 15-minute triage calls. And then that just had like the show up rates to the sales calls increase like dramatically in and of itself.
Yeah, yeah. Because what I was noticing, like when we went through the data, and like I don't want you to remember it in any way, but like just what I noticed when we went through it was like you were booking these triage calls and your show rate was decent, and then they would get on the triage call, but the conversion to the sales call, like there was a lot of people who hit the triage call that never, we were losing like, I can't remember the number, but it was like 25 or 50%. It was like a high number that we were losing.
Yeah,
And
it
I'm
was
like,
it was magnificently huge. Yeah,
yeah, like we were losing a lot
so
of money
much.
by doing that. So I was like, okay, maybe we just don't have that. And so we just took it
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
For sure. There's one thing I actually just thought of as well that we didn't map out before this, and it just dawned on me.
Yeah.
This is probably going to be helpful for anyone listening because I think a lot of coaches are in the mindset of this.
Yeah.
I in the last year and a half have become very good at like automatically creating viral content.
Yes.
I just through a bunch of different programs, I won't say their names, but I got very good at creating that on demand. But what I started to notice is even though literally like 5,000 people every couple months would be following me for these viral things, I realized that like 90 or more percent weren't even my ideal clients. So
Sure.
my setters were being flooded by all this. It was wasting time. So
Yes.
I eventually asked myself, like, great, my ego gets a massive stroke, and I'll admit it's super exciting to see when it blasts to 10,000 views, 100,000 views, or more. Like I have one that's currently about to hit a million, which
Yeah.
kind of wish I hadn't posted at this point, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's cool to see it and it's fun, but it's such a waste of time for the people I'm paying to help me book calls.
For sure. Yeah.
So I was like, so my point is I stopped doing that and I started making content that doesn't really get out to a lot of people, but it's very specific to the
Yeah.
people who are coming in through my following ads.
Yeah. Which it's funny because it goes back to thing number one, right? Like narrowing down. It's like you
Yeah.
made the decision to narrow down, and then also kind of the same with the content, right? Because like
Yeah.
it just becomes like a nightmare for the setting department to filter all these people who aren't ideal and don't have the funds and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's one thing like if you're some kind of influencer who like just gets paid for like the amount of you watch or whatever by the algorithm, but for us, like I don't know why coaches are obsessed with it. Like now that I've tasted virality, I'm like, no, 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 no. Like I don't need that. So
Yeah. Okay. That's actually a good point. That's actually a really good point. Okay. What else you got? What other goals you got?
yeah. So the last thing that I will say that it's been helping, this is more of a new thing, but it's still very, very real. I started getting better at objection handling. And then once I started obsessing about getting better at that, which did help for sure, no question about it, I started realizing that objections are not a normal thing. It's a symptom of um, having not really done the best you could have done in the discovery up until then. Now, for the sake of this, do you edit these?
Well, not really, but you can just say what you're going to say.
Okay, cool. Well, I was gonna say, so I started working with Austin as well.
Mhm.
Um, but I did start to notice even before working with Austin, who pointed it out and made it very clear. Even before him, I started to notice like there's no reason that this many objections should be coming up. Even though I can handle them, I'm getting better at them. They should have clarity up until then, like maybe a couple logistics of like how does this work and figure that out. Um, but back to my point, I started getting better at objections, then I realized I'm not doing enough good, like getting clear on stuff up until the price drop and like the pitch.
Mhm.
Once I got better at that, it's also been improving too. So there's like a shitload of things that improved here.
100%, 100%. Yeah, yeah. And like,
And they're all like tiny too.
but that's what it is. Like once you're at a certain income level, small hinges swing big doors. It's not like you're trying to go from 0 to 10K. Like you already have proof of concept. It's just like you literally just dial down in these little tiny things. But if something gives
Yeah.
you a 10% better, like I mean, 10% for you at this point, you add another 5 grand a month to the business, right? So, you know?
Yeah, huge. Crazy.
Yeah. But you make a good point. Like some people don't realize that, but it's like if you think about handling not this is not a teaching call, but it's like if you think about handling objections, the first place is calling in the right people with your ads or whatever. So
Mhm.
you don't have, for example, people who are broke or whatever. And then in your content can pre-handle a ton of objections, right? And then even in your DMs, you can handle a bunch of like objections before you even get to a sales call. And then before
Mhm.
you pitch, you handle them in discovery. There's like so
Mhm.
many places to handle them. Like if you're getting them in discovery, it's just like you're in the red zone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think we all like as new coaches, I'll say, but even as like better like vet coaches, we
Yeah.
tend to be focused on obsessed with objection handling. Like even if you look up in your own local city or around the world, like sales events, everyone's like, learn how to handle objections because that's like the sexy thing.
Yeah.
But I don't think any of us have realized, and this is brand new for me, so I'm not even preaching. Like we're so unaware that that's a symptom of the problem, not the problem itself.
Sure.
Because an objection is just an unanswered question, and they're not going to tell you the real question because none of us do. Even me, usually on a fucking sales call. So it's like learning more about the sales call as well has been unbelievably helpful.
Love it. Cool.
So I've only changed like 5 major things. No big deal.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I think I have, there's two other things. Do you remember the two other things we talked about? I can point you in the right direction if you want. There was one
You should
other big,
just point them.
well, I mean, price. You changed your price, which is a big,
Oh yeah. So on one of your group calls, and I hear someone just say, if you're at 1K, go to 2. If you're at 2, go to 3. If you're at 3, go to 5. If you're at 5, go to like just whatever it is, bump it up to the next X or Y or Z.
Mhm.
Um, and they were like, if you're not comfortable going up a couple thousand, just stair step it, right? 3 to 35, 3 to 5, blah 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 blah. And I was like, fuck this. Let's go 3 to 5. Why not? It's
Yeah,
just that, and I thought about that logically too. Like, if you're willing to pay 3K, what is an extra $2,000 to change your whole life in whatever area we do it as a coach? Like, what? It's 2K.
yeah,
It's like, screw it. Um, First sales call, they're like, and I was like, fuck, I shouldn't have done that. But I was like, no, no, no. What Hormozy says, like, the marketplace will grade on your belief systems. Just keep going. This was the same thing when I went from whatever 2,500 to 3. Just same shit, different store. Keep going,
yeah,
and it's been beautiful. It has been so good. The quality of clients has been way higher.
yeah, for
I'm
sure.
actually getting a lot of pays in full.
Yeah.
Just been good all around. Yeah, bumping
What's
up my price.
What's funny about this too is like I remember when we first made the change because we had the combo about it, and then we made the change, and then I think there was a moment where you were freaking out about it, but I was like, let's just do the math. Let's just do the math. I'm like, you're still making more money per every sales call that you take right now, even if you get a few more no's, right?
Yeah.
Like, you have a better business. You're making more money and you have less clients to make that money. I'm like, don't change it back. Like it's working, you know?
And even when you had said that, this is going to be something that probably people listening to this need to hear. I still didn't feel certain about sticking with the change after that conversation transparently, but I was like, okay, you know what? Anxiety relief and changing people at an emotional behavior level, that is my specialty, not business. I hired Morgan for a reason. I trust her. Just do the thing. Just do it. And like, I borrowed from your belief, if I'm being honest about it. I'm glad I did because now I'm like, I would never go back. Not in a million fucking years.
Right. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
tough when you make that change though. I remember
it
when I
is.
went from 3K to 6K in one fell swoop and made two other massive business changes at the same time, and it was a really tough pill to swallow. But it was
It's
good. Yeah.
yeah, it's hard, but like when you get a first couple of yeses, you're like, the fuck did I wait so long to do this for?
Yeah, for sure.
I think a lot of us, talking as like a general coach to a general coach and behind this call general coaches, I think like we are all looking at our price point from the point of view of what am I as a human worth, and or what was my financial mindset growing up. We're
For
not
sure.
looking at it from like just other people, because if we looked at it from the point of view of what is the value I'm giving to people long term, all of us should be at like 20K easily. So it's like we're looking at it through the wrong lens. And
Yeah.
I've learned that over time. I'm like, you're literally giving people their lives back. What do you mean it's not worth $10,000? Like, fucking make $100,000. They never pay it back in their lifetime, but whatever, they're
Yeah.
free. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Not to side quest us, but it's funny you say that because like I had anxiety at one point, like bad for me in high school, and like it was like life ruining. Like it wasn't like I was like wouldn't call that living. So like yeah, when you get your life back,
yeah,
is it worth 5K? Probably, you know?
for
So
real.
yeah.
And like there's been times in my life too where be it Tony Robbins or something else where I've invested like a lot of money. And at the time I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna pay this. Like I literally don't know. I can't even pay the fucking deposit, but somehow I figured that one out. I
Yeah.
remember once the problem was solved, I was like, screw the debt. I have my life. I'll figure this out.
Yeah.
And I really thought from that frame of mind because I'm like, I'm losing time if I don't do this. So nonetheless, yeah, price.
Love it. Love it. So if you're watching this and you have some decent client results, you're probably afraid to raise your price, but you probably could. And what's the worst that happens, right? Like you raise it and the math doesn't math and you change it back. Like, okay, wow, you're still alive. Like there's no big deal.
And the way that I thought about that too is like, you raise the price, you get three no's in a row. Well, great. You probably would have gotten three no's in a row with the other one anyways. Like, why difference does it make?
Right. Yeah.
Like, because there's something else we're doing wrong anyway, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Okay. Any last things? I have one last thing if you don't have anything else.
I did, but it slipped my mind. I think I want to go into the last piece that you told me to hold off on, but go do your thing.
Okay. The only last thing I'm thinking is because in terms of hires that you made, because some of it was like tactical things like let's take out the triage, let's put in these reminders, like to just bump
Mhm.
conversion. But then one big thing on the team was bringing on a second setter, but there's something else
Mhm.
happening right now with team stuff too, if I'm not mistaken.
Uh, if you're referring to this, yeah, I'm currently in the process of having. I found two assistant coaches, so I'm going to start offboarding. I don't know if that's the right word, but like offloading whatever some of the delivery to them.
Yep.
I found two people who I trust. One was a previous client. One was just somebody who I met at an event, learning the stuff that I do. They were both looking for work and they were training my stuff. So I'm training them in what I do specifically. I recorded a few of my client calls, same system all the way through. I gave them that to watch. And so now it's a weird transition. I'll say that. Very real. But fucking helpful. So yeah, the next piece is I'm doing my sales calls
Yeah.
and I'm offloading to them. And so that's gonna buy back probably like 12 hours a week where I
Yeah.
can like take on even more sales calls and all that.
Yeah. So you're just in that process of being like, okay, where's the best seat for me to be on this bus? And let me give these other seats to someone else. So like the first thing was a setter, and then it was two setters. So we've got lots of people booking calls. But now it's like, okay, I've seen your calendar. It's starting to look a little crazy. So you're like, okay, it's either going to be client success or it's going to be sales, but you're going to hold on to sales for a bit. You're working on putting the coaches in place. Once that's in place, then you can kind of work on like a closer.
Yeah, and then I figure at that point that's where I'm gonna blast the kingdom come, which feels so surreal.
Yeah.
Having been somebody who grew up with like $500 in our whole household being a good day or a good month,
Yeah.
um, like it's weird. But I will say, something. My version of your Alex Hormozi is Tony Robbins. I will say one of his quotes in business is like the bottleneck on most businesses is people letting go of the threshold of control.
Yes.
And I will tell you, there's like three times where I've got a new client And I just take them all the way through. This is my own mindset stuff. I take them all the way through the process, and I don't even give them to my new coaches because I'm so like of letting go of control of the quality. And I think that this is just a natural thing that like comes with the territory. But I even told them, I'm like, guys, I'm sorry. I just got 3 new clients. I finished all 3 of them because my session is only like a week long. I'm like, my bad. The next ones are yours.
Yeah.
And I just sold one in today, and I told them right away, I'm like, this is your person, just so you know, it's held accountable. Take care of my baby.
Yeah. I love it. It is tough. It is tough though, right? Because like you want people to get good results. Like the same, I had the same thing, like letting go any of control of any client success stuff. But
Yeah, it's scary.
like,
But like, what else are you gonna do?
well, I mean, like what's crazy is eventually you realize like now, like I'm not like always at like before I was involved in absolutely everything, but it's like, but our clients actually get better results now. Like, right? Like you can have
Yeah,
both. You can have more freedom in the business and you can have better client results. So yeah.
yeah,
Anyway,
for sure.
cool.
It's great.
Where did you want to take us after this? I think we've dropped enough gold of nuggets and things that we did and what have you.
I
Um,
just wanted to talk about like from my perspective because I know a lot of coaches are after numbers, but I also know having been at the bottom of the food chain, so to speak, like we're not after the numbers, we're after the feeling behind it, and it chokes me up to know where I am.
yeah.
Um, what I wanted to mention is like, and I talked to a couple people in your community about this too, because I'm becoming good friends with everybody, is like the first number that's the most exciting for you, or I'll speak for me, but I think it'll resonate with everybody. The
Yeah.
first number that was exciting is the first sale ever. Because I
Yeah.
was like, oh my God, this works. The second thing was going full time. I'm like, holy shit, I don't have a day job anymore. The
Yeah.
third thing was hiring my first person. What I will say now is being at $54,000, like, though that is exciting, and I'm not going to downplay it. It's like I look at my Stripe and I'm like, ee! But it's kind of numbing in the sense of like it doesn't feel like anything changes. Um, and so we were talking off camera and a little bit on here, I think, too, about like the next goal is 100K.
Yeah.
I am like out of my mind excited about that. And at the same time, I know that when I hit it, my focus is going to be so like client delivery, making sure my babies are okay, making sure everything's good. Um, what the numbers really represent to me, and I'm going to try not to get choked up talking about this, is like for me, the first thing is like I was stupid and hadn't paid my taxes in like 2 years.
Mhm.
And so I made my now wife worried, which totally makes sense. My mom was worried about her little boy being in a whole new country, figuring out a visa process while needing to pay, like just worrying everybody. And I thought to myself, I'm like, I need to make more money to pay this off, but then also to pay off like the taxes that I'll be making on the current sales. So for me, all of this just means like I'm okay. Like
Mhm.
I'm actually okay. And knowing that going up to these higher numbers, like I have a son. I don't know if I told you this. I think you did know this. I
Mhm.
have a son coming in 5 months now, and like I want him to know what it's like to not have to worry about money. I
Mhm.
also want to eventually like buy my mom a home, and like so those things mean a lot to me, and that's what the numbers represent. I know when I get to 100K, I'll be like, look, babe, this is in a month, not in a year. It'll
Yeah.
be really exciting. I'll bring you out to dinner, but like it's about where I've come. And it's crazy to think that from $500 on a good month was what my family was doing. It's hard for my brain to even comprehend 100 in a month,
Yeah.
1,000. Like, I'm like, what is that even? What?
Yeah.
The math doesn't math, but it feels fulfilling. And yeah, it's no longer exciting about the money. It's like what this allows me to do in my life, truthfully.
100%. Yeah. Cool. And so those are the things for you, like in terms of like what it allows you to do. It's like not worry about the tax stuff and not be worrying the shit out of like your mom and like your partner. And
Yeah.
also like you have a son on the way. So, you know.
Yeah. Like one of the coolest things in the world, though I track the taxes was a lesson to track my income and expenses and all that. But like, though I still do that, it's cool for us to be like, let's go get some dinner tonight
For
and
sure.
not need to like, I had to actually unlearn the habit of like taking out my phone to like check my bank account. Where now I'm like, I'm not even really going to see it come out of my bank because the numbers are so big and that's not boasting. It's just what's real now. It's like weird to be like, huh, I had dinner, but it doesn't look like the number changed. It's just so freeing. The mental freedom of this is more than anything I could ask for. Going into Christmas, obsessing about like Christmas right now and being able to be present is like the coolest fucking thing, and not being like, well, I can take these 2 days off, but guys, I gotta get back to work. You know how it is. I'm like, no, like just be present. Let's have fun. It's so cool.
I love it.
And I have you to thank for that, because this whole thing's been I've been able to do this because of the work here. Like it's just I have no words. I'm just so thankful.
Yeah. I always get
Yeah.
when people are like, I have you to thank for this. I'm like, you did the work. It wasn't me. Like you did all the hard shit. You know what I mean? So yeah.
I mean, I will say that's one thing. Over all the cool shit that I did say here, because I do understand having not like being in a position where you're not where I just explained. It's like, oh my God, that much money. Like I get it. It's human nature. But I will say though, and Morgan, you called me out on this enough times, is like you told me to do something. I don't care how late I have to stay up or how early I have to wake up. The thing is done by like the next day.
For
Because I'm
sure.
like, I just want the results,
Yeah.
right? And it's the same reason why in my I don't even call it a program anymore, because it isn't. It's a process. It's a quick one and done thing. People come in and I ask them like, look, Morgan, like, do you want the result or do you want some program? Like,
Yeah.
no, you want the result? Great. Just let's just do this thing. That's why it's like a week long,
Yeah.
because I don't have a program. I'm like, just listen to my instructions, get the result, move on with your life. I don't want a drawn out thing. I want to live my life.
For sure. And I would say like for anyone listening to this too, like just a comp like what you're saying is super, super true. And it's like if you want a life hack in terms of a character trait to either learn or embody more or whatever to like make more money in your coaching business, it's speed. Like it's just speed, you know what I mean? Like it's a huge like that's part of the reason why you are where you are is because like you just move quickly on things. Like you just don't sleep on it, you know? So
Yeah, and I think like the limiting belief to get out of your own mind is like knowing if what I'm doing now is not working, and obviously the beliefs that I've currently had up to this point has got me here. If Morgan, as an example, or my coach tells me to do something, and I have this limiting thought of like, oh, but XYZ, well, that's what's got you here. So just do the thing and let the belief catch up.
yeah, for
Just like when I
sure.
raised my price,
Yeah.
right? I was like, fuck it, 5K. And then when the market said yes, 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 54K later, I'm like, oh, now I have the belief. Like sometimes, like, yes, I am in the work of changing beliefs so we can do the thing, but sometimes you just do the thing and the belief will follow.
For
Don't
sure.
worry about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's been super helpful.
Cool. Cool,
100K,
cool.
here we come.
Okay, here we come. Next milestone. Okay, we're gonna do a little recap. So 8K to 54K, just to recap the lessons for people. Getting hyper specific with who
Mhm.
you're calling in and your niche. Getting two setters instead of one, so you could have just better inbox coverage, speed to lead. Getting more people to show to the calls with like certain reminders and videos and text and email and stuff like that. Taking out the triage call, which was kind of screwing up your conversion a little bit.
Yeah.
Raising your price, which is ultimately one of the biggest levers that you can have on your business, right? Um,
Biggest and scariest, but most worth it. Yeah.
yeah, and now working on getting help with delivery, basically. So
Yeah. Yeah,
cool,
for sure.
cool, cool.
It's all and then from there, like it's very clear, just to wrap the whole thing up in a bow, because I love doing that. It's very clear that once all of that's in play, literally all I need to be doing, and once I look at my numbers, it'll be more clear. But like the essence, the essence of this will be like once I have the whole system working, you just turn up the gates more and more and more and more and more and more, and more, and then make
Yeah,
sure the quality is still going through, and then the world's your oyster. Like it's very clear the game of business is just numbers after this.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
We've already
crazy
got
shit.
something that's working, just the small tweaks and scaling it up. So
Real. I'm excited about it. I'm like, it still blows my mind. Like it's like pinch me moment of like, really? Like this is happening right now? But yeah, for real. The last thing I will keep this quick. It's crazy to think that this is where I am right now in November, because in February, right after my honeymoon, my wife and I were looking at like a place to get in Florida. And so we like revealed our bank accounts, and I was not tracking numbers. I don't even mean business. I mean like all numbers. We just got back from our honeymoon, and in January, no, it doesn't matter. Some just before our honeymoon, I had made $30,000,
mm,
and I had spent $31,000.
Yeah.
And I like my nervous system was like, oh, she's gonna leave me. We're gonna divorce. We just got married 2 weeks ago. Ah, and thankfully she stuck with me, as a beautiful gem as she is.
Yeah.
But it was weird to think like because we had a real conversation at that time. Maybe we should put this at the beginning of the of the call. But we had a conversation about how for the rest of the year, no more investing in yourself. You know what to do. Get yourself back up there. Stop spending. Pay it all off.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, fucking $30,000 of investing myself later this year.
Yeah.
Once we got out of that scarcity mindset, it has brought it all the way back up. So like, it's crazy to think that when you're in such a hole, you can come out of it quickly with doing the right things. And they're very small tweaks. That's where I wanted to leave this off because it can be very scary, but the right moves and you're there.
Yeah. I love that. Cool. Anything else you want to say before we wrap? Like any thoughts for anyone watching this or anything you want to wrap with?
I think if there's anything I've learned, it's just taking massive action. I've learned that from Tony Robbins in my personal life, in my work with you. Just taking massive action towards the thing. Don't overthink it. You'll get there, and that's all. Because be it the money you're after, be it the fulfillment, be it all the stuff, like you've just got to take action without overthinking because you'll get there. But we think ourselves out of it. So just do it. Just do the thing. Let me be a walking testimonial for that.
For sure. Massive action. So speed, massive action. What would you say to that person who's like, and I always tell people like be hella honest about this, like don't sugarcoat it, but like what would you say to that person who's like watching this video or watching whatever video and they're just like kind of lurking in the audience, like thinking about maybe joining, thinking about reaching out, haven't done it. Like what would you say to that person?
I would really just ask, how meaningful is it to you to get your business going? And I say this with tears in my eyes actually right now as I speak this. Um, I have also worked with other coaches in the past. It just didn't work out. Their fault, my fault. It really doesn't matter. The experiences of losing so much has scared the shit out of me too. But bet on yourself, that if any of this until this point has made sense to you, just you got to bet on yourself, but find somebody who's going to be the right person. And for you, you've been that person for me. But I just think like if the mission of what you're getting into coaching is strong enough, you've got to go all the way in. Like it is scary as fuck. I'm not gonna lie, it's terrifying. But on the other side of that is everything you've ever wanted. So just you've got to do it.
For sure.
And that's with knowing, for the record, yeah, but it's so scary. I know it's terrifying, and do it.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's not really going to go away until you get the comfort of the second that you're in and you're like, oh shit, I can see how A, B, C, D through whatever the fuck. I see how this lines up now. And you'll get calm and you'll implement and you'll be everywhere you want to be.
For sure. So not being able to like not being afraid to take risks. When you take action, take massive action. And when you take action, do it quickly, basically. So
Yep. Yep, 100%. If it's worth it to you, take the action, get in. If it's not worth it to you, go stay in your job.
cool. Love it.
Yeah,
Or I
for
mean,
sure.
yeah, or have your business stay where it is, depending on where you're at,
Yeah, exactly. And to me, the idea of my business staying where it was, not only wasn't like pleasant, but like the idea of that was way more painful than the idea of possibly going a little bit further into debt. And I wanted to talk about debt. I know how that shit feels, probably more than most people. The idea of being here in my business the whole was less scary than being hundreds of thousands in debt and being the skills. So it's like, just do it. Just fucking do it. If your heart's calling for it, like just use your heart. Don't use your head.
Love it. Cool. That's all I got.
Cool.
Yeah,
Love it.
that's all I got.
100K.
Let's go. Next milestone, baby. The only thing I would say if you're watching this too and you are curious about just like, to me, I'm like, play it out, best case, worst case. Like, what's best case scenario? We have a conversation, your life changes, your business skyrockets. Worst case scenario, we have a conversation, you don't feel like it's a good fit. It's not that bad, right?
Yeah,
So
for
I would
sure.
say if that is like, if you're interested in that, click the link below this video and yeah, let's find a time to chat. So that's all I got.
There you go. And it is supposed to feel nerve-wracking and exciting. It's not going to be pure exciting because then you're not really growing. So if you're like, oh, I got to do this, but it's scary, you're the right person.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, let
Yeah,
me wrap this. Thank you for sharing, by the way. I appreciate you.
my pleasure.
All right, once again, I hope that you thought this was helpful. I hope this was valuable for you. If you want the absolute most value that I can provide to you, I promise you it's not going to be in a video. It's going to be by freaking working together and letting us help you execute this stuff. So if you want help executing this so that you can grow your business, scale your business, click the link below and find a time to book in a chat with me. I'll see you there.